All right, so we're going to talk about today is the tips and tricks on how to build Web 2.0 properties and do parasite hosting properly. And actually, when I was doing this and like going through and like researching all this, I learned so much as an SEO, so I know you guys will as well. And also, I realized that this is practical. A lot of this knowledge is practical for like pretty much any type of link building that's offsite. So like we're even talking profiles, like building forum profiles, social bookmarks, wikis. This will be applicable for all of that stuff. And it's also going to be applicable for you like understanding how to better structure your site for SEO. So let's dive right in. So since we're going to be talking about Web 2.0 properties and parasite hosting, I figured just really quickly we're kind of go over like the fundamentals of doing this. And so I'm going to call it from now on a hosted page because Web 2.0 property sounds weird and parasite hosting sounds bad. So I'm just going to use hosted page. So the fundamental reason behind building a hosted page is that the website that you're hosting that page on has a ton of PR/link value, right? And our goal is to extract that PR and link value to our hosted page for our benefit. So if we're doing parasite hosting, that's so that we can rank easier. And if we're building a Web 2.0 property, it's so that we can pass that link juice onto our money site. So for example, if we built a hosted page on a PR8 site, our goal is to send a ton of that site's link juice to our hosted page. So we'll either rank or send that link juice to our money site. If you look around like the landscape today, most SEOs, they're missing out on the second part of the fundamentals of building a hosted page, and that's a key part, and that's extracting the value from the site to your hosted page. And so it's like not good enough to just build a hosted page. You're missing out on a ton of value. And why? And that's because that almost every hosted page starts out as an orphan page. It's not linked very well within the site, so it's not able. Yeah, something just happened outside, so I'm going to close my door. So it's not able to get a lot of the link juice from the actual site. So here's an example of something that we noticed at Drip Feed Blast, right? So we were building tons and tons of profile links, and our customers wanted those profile links to get indexed. The problem is profile links were getting indexed very well because they were orphan pages. They would only have a link from the members page, and then on some forums, very briefly will say like, the newest member register, right? You'll have a very brief site-wide link. But the indexing rates were crap because they were orphan pages. And so what we did is we developed this tool called Drip Feed Login, and that logs into the forum profile. And if you guys are all probably members of forums, at the bottom it will say, these are the members online. And so then that forum, that profile would be online for a period of time, and it would have a site-wide link for a period of time, and that greatly helped indexing rates from like 2% to like 20 and 30%. Now that's just an example, once again, of why you want to turn an orphan page on a site into a well-linked page with a lot of internal links, because what that's going to do is that's going to increase the value of that page, and that's what we're trying to do here, right? We're trying to have valuable backlinks, or we're trying to rank our site if we're doing this for parasites. So just like a quick question like I brought up, right, is how valuable is a property built on google.com/orphan page/orphan? Now let's of course, Google has developed their link algorithm over time, so it's not just straight cut forward PR and link juice being passed. But the point of this kind of thought experiment is if that is not linked anywhere on Google, anywhere at Google at all, then that's just straight an orphan site. So it wouldn't matter that Google's a PR9 or PR10. If there's no links to that page, then that page is going to have very little value. And once again, yes, I know there's authority pages and stuff like that, but it's just a thought experiment, right? And so when we're trying to build really good Web 2.0 properties or parasite hosts, which I call hosted pages, we want to try to get as many internal links from the site as possible, because that's going to increase the PR and the link juice on our page. So how can we extract value from a hosted page? It's going to vary from site to site, but the common ones are tags, categories, comments, likes, and follows, right? So you think about all of those things. When you post, when you tag your page, or you include it in a category, or you post a comment with your profile on someone else's profile or page, or if you like or follow something, almost all the time you're getting a link back to your page. And what that's doing is that's another page on that site that's linking to yours. And it makes it way easier for that PR and that link juice to pass to you. So enough of talking and going over the fundamentals. Let's hop into the fun stuff. So this parasite that I was showing, it's listenable. Okay. Yeah, so it's definitely the door. So if we go, oh, that's the little brother. I'm closing the door again. If we go to behance.net, this is an example of a hosted parasite, a place that we can, build a hosted page. And so that's what I'm going to be going over today. So the site is a PR7, okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the site and kind of show some examples of how PR is passing through the site and why we want to get that PR going to our page, because we want to see what value we're going to be able to get out of that. So the first example I'll just show you really quick is this one guy has a profile page on here. His name is Vasava. And this guy's profile page is a PR4, right? And that's, that's pretty huge. So a PR4, there's a link to his, probably personal design site, because this is geared towards like designers and artists and all that, right? So PR4, that's really cool to get a link from a PR page. Now, of course, this is a very popular guy on this site, and that's why he has a PR4. As you can see, he has a ton of project views, appreciations, followers, following. But I guess the point I'm trying to make here is that, on a PR7 page, you could create a profile that becomes a PR4, and that's a huge link to have. So let's look around the site and kind of see the different, things, like the different ways that you can kind of get PR passed into your site. So one of the things you can do is, like, this site allows you to declare your focuses as like a designer and artist. So you see illustration, you see design, you see art direction here, right? You also see down here on all of his individual projects, you see he's able to tag it with art direction, graphic design, art direction, fashion, all of these different things. So we can look at a couple of these fields and see how valuable it is to tag our own copy instead of just, throwing up our content and leaving it like that. This right here, art direction, this category, this is a PR5 right here, right? So when you're tagging your page with that category, you're getting a link from a PR5 on the site, right? And it's as simple as just including your tag. It's very easy to do. Another example is field 44. This is a PR6, right? This is a PR6 if you tag yourself or if you tag your project as graphic design, right? And so tagging isn't just like, okay, I'm doing payday loans, right? So let's go back and look at my project. I'm doing payday loans. I was just fooling around and seeing how the tagging, everything like that worked, right? But if you can look at my project, I tag myself for payday loan, payday loan lenders. And, for example, payday loans, it has like, 5 or 6 projects there, but it's probably a PR0. So tagging, isn't necessarily like you shouldn't just say, oh, okay, my site's about payday loans, so I should just tag everything payday loans, right? No, you should really actually think about, hey, what are the bigger tags on this site? Because if you start tagging your Parasite host or your Web 2.0 property with these big tags like graphic design or art direction, you're getting links to your profile page from PR5, from PR6 pages, right? That's a big thing right here, okay? Now let's go back and let's look at, this guy right here, Clara Fernandez, right? So he's at the top of graphic design, must be a pretty good guy, right? So he has 730 followers, right? So let's click right here. Let's see what it shows us. Oh, okay, right there. It shows the followers, and it drops a link to the followers, right? So this guy right here, click on it, it's a link to this guy's profile page, right? And so if you go around and you follow some of the bigger people, that's not only another link, but that's another link that you're going to get some good PR or get some good PR juice from, right? So if you can kind of see what I'm talking about here, it's not enough just to throw your content up there. It's not enough to just, get, some guy to write you a 500-word article and put it up there. You're going to get value out of it because any index page has a little PR. I think it's like 0.015 PR, right? So you're going to still get some link juice, but you're missing out on a ton of link juice if you just don't invest a little bit of time and go around and tag popular tags or follow very big people on the site. And if there's any service providers listen to this as well, this is a great value add you can do to your services, right? Someone's going to be way more willing to buy a service that ranks them better, right? And if you're implementing tactics like this into your service, it's going to rank them better. Let's see what else we want to show. Okay, there's another thing, comments. Let's see where it is. I think it's on actual projects. So let's view this right here. You scroll to the bottom. There's a place to post a comment. Now, I don't know if it's going to let me post a comment on my own place, but let's say like, hey, I'm Matt Cutts. I use payday loans per day. All right, so let's see what that does for us. There we go. So we got a link to our profile page by dropping a comment, right? So if you go around to the top projects on this site, right, and you drop a comment, you're getting another link to your internal page, right? And these links are going to be very, very valuable because this is a PR7 site. So you're dropping links all over the place. You're going to be getting PR2s, PR3s, PR4s. It's great. Just a quick side note, another reason why I love this place is that you can like name your page, right? Whatever you want. My payday loans, someone told me that there was a guy ranking for buy Oxycontin, which I don't mess around with personally, but neither using or selling it online. But being able to kind of drop your keywords in a URL like this is really cool too. So what I've kind of been talking about like so far is just going around on a Web 2.0 property or on a parasite, right, and maximizing that value. I'm gonna flip really quick and make sure there's like nothing really bad happening. So if you followed those popular people, wouldn't they report you your page is spam? Ryan, there's definitely like a chance that could happen, right? But I figure a guy that has 7,000 followers probably isn't looking through and checking through all of his followers, right? Also, on a lot of places, including this, right, I can edit my profile. And so, I'm able to edit, my first name as payday and like my last name as loans, and edit all this information. If you wanted to, really make sure that you weren't going to run into any problems, and you can edit that information, you could put up very legitimate information. Go around, make all of the comments, go around, make all of the follows. Wait a week, and then change all of your information. And then by that time, if they were going to look and potentially report you as spam, then they've looked by then, and then you can go back and switch all your stuff. But I personally wouldn't worry about that too much. I mean, I've posted this all over the web, and they haven't taken it down yet. And that buy Oxycontin thing's still up too. So I don't think these guys are worrying too much about pulling stuff down. So one of the things that I love about SEO a lot too is, a lot of people say it's like, it's an art and a science. I don't think that's right because, I mean, it's 100% science, right? But it's an applied science, right? And there's a lot of creativity to it. So here's a cool thing that I found that maybe some of you guys will be able to bot and get a lot of value out of. So one of the easy ways that you can find where value on a site is to look at the nav bars, right? because the nav bar is on every page. It's going to have a lot of value. That's obviously why you have nav bars on your pages, right? And that's why the home page will almost always have the most PR, because there's a link to it on every single page on the site. So I was looking around. The first thing I looked at was Explore, right? So it would be cool to get a link from Explore because it's actually on Behance.net. The problem is I looked into it. This is all JavaScript stuff, right? So this is going to be hard to really kind of extract a lot of value. So I kept looking around, and I came across galleries, right? And there's a section called collections. Now I think one of these is a collection. Okay, yeah. So look at this, right? So basically what collections is here is you can create a collection over here with this button, and then you can add projects to a collection. And from what it looks like, you can add your projects and other people's projects, I think, but I'm not sure. But at the very least, you can add your projects to a collection, right? And so when you add your project to a collection, you're getting a link on the collection section. Now, I went 7 pages deep, and it was a PR6. And here's just for an information right here, 5 pages deep, it's a PR6, right? So just clicking new collection, adding to your collection, right? Adding your projects to a collection, and you're going to be farther back, so it may not be a PR6, right? But it's going to be a really good link, right? And so that's another example of, okay, we got a little creative. We looked around on the site. We said, hey, there's this thing called collections, right? So we add our project to a collection. Next thing we know, we have a link to our profile page, right? Because if you see right here, and then we have a link to our collection, which then has links to our projects and another link to our profile page, right? So if you think about it, by just following the collection, which will take, creating a collection, which will take 30 seconds, right? And then adding your project to the collection, which takes another 30 seconds, right? About a minute of your time. And you can potentially send a lot of links and some good PR links to your site. And then look right here what I just found. You can follow a collection as well. That's another link. And when this starts all accumulating together and aggregating together, that's when your profile page, right? And that's when your projects start getting good PR. And then you're looking at very, very powerful links, right? I mean, when you think about it this day and age, with blog networks getting shut down left and right, with the options that we really have on like Wicked Fire and Traffic Plan and all those places is blog comments, forum profiles, wikis, social bookmarks, and stuff like that, right? It's not that easy these days to get a good amount of like PR4, PR3, even PR2 links, right? Actual PR4, PR3, PR2 links where it's actually on the page. It's not the site, right? Which is a big difference, right? Because you wouldn't say if you dropped one link on Behance that you have a PR7 link, because you don't, right? Because it's not on Behance.net. It's on some extension of that, some other page. So in this day and age, when it's really hard to get those quality links, this is a great way, right? That you can get some of these properties. Go through, spend 30 minutes or something like that. Better yet, do it once, outsource it, and you could be spending $5, $5 to $10 turning what would be an orphan page PR0 link into a PR2, PR3, maybe PR4 link, right? Let's hop back to this collections link because I want to give you guys a tip and trick. And if you guys have that bot or know someone that can bot, here's a great way for you to get a badass link. Okay, so once again, let's be creative with SEO, right? That's the fun part about it. It's an applied science. We could be creative. So we're looking here, right? We go over to members because that's where we would get posted. What do you see if you start looking in this area and we start scrolling down? How does it look like they're organizing it? I'm going to be like a teacher here and just ask some questions. Do you guys notice any common theme in how they're organizing top to bottom? Who gets on the first page and who gets on the latter pages? I'm going to keep going down, and I'm going to get 15 seconds, so all you smart guys may get a little annoyed, but it's okay. I'm going to keep scrolling down. And I'm circling around the area you want to look. So I'm going to flip back. Yep, you guys are right. Followers, exactly, right? Followers. So let's go back a couple pages, right? 700 followers, right? That's a good amount of followers, right? But if you know how to bot, you know how to automate something. It's not too much to think that you could create a bot that registers an account, right, and then follows your main account. Or better yet, what if you created 300-400 accounts and you could teach them to all go and follow each other, right? Think about that. Then you follow each other and follow collections, right? So they all can follow multiple collections, because you just don't have to create one collection, right? You can create multiple collections. So let's go a couple pages back. Let's go to page 5, right? 100 followers, right? You guys out there could create 100 followers or 100 accounts very easily. There's Ubot, there's tons of botting software out there. You could even do it manually. You could teach them how to do it, right? So that's 100 followers you need to get on this page. That's page 5. We'll go back to my thing. That's a PR6, right? So that's a PR6 link to your page. And once again, right, a collection can have multiple projects, right? All of these projects could be yours. So if this is a link from a PR5 page, you could think this could get up to maybe, PR4, PR3, right? Then you're shooting PR3 links to a ton of projects, and then look at all these buys, right? If each one of those 100, 200, 300 accounts you created all were included in this collection, then you're thinking about 200, 300 links, PR3 links, to accounts that you control, which if you're obviously doing it for SEO purposes or to rank, that's a lot of PR juice that you just funnel around the site, right? This is one site. So you guys may be saying, oh, well, this is one site. If we all start doing it on this site, then it's going to get outed and it's not going to work anymore. Well, honestly, I bet you it would work for a pretty long time, because there's just not that many people out there that can bot. There's a lot of room for people on this site alone, and there's probably dozens of sites like this one, and there's thousands of high PR pages where you can do stuff like that. Because the beauty is, these days, sites are trying to get social. Sites are trying to get people to interact, right? And the beauty is that interaction can get manipulated. That interaction is something that we can mimic. And the beautiful thing is that interaction, since it's supposed to be social, they want people to be able to go back and forth. And what's the easiest way to go back and forth? It's with a link, right? And so all of these sites are starting to add social elements to their pages, and those are things that we can manipulate and then extract link juice from that powerful page to a hosted page that we can drop our links or drop content that we try to rank for. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I'm sure there's a lot that you guys could do with that. I looked over at jobs, because if a job was really cheap, maybe you could get like a PR4 job, but they're $199 to post a job, and they only stay on the front page for a little bit amount of time. That's an expensive link, right? Especially since we've looked around here, and you could extract so much link juice, so much link juice. And I mean, of course, right, it's all coming from one site. So let's be realistic. Honestly, you could probably rank for some good terms, maybe just from links from this site, but I don't have an insight into Google's algorithm. I can't tell you exactly. But there's a lot of value you can extract from this site, right? And those are powerful links, right? And people would pay good money for it. And if you're doing it yourself, that's a lot of value that you can manipulate and send to one or multiple money sites that you own. And that's going to help you rank, because once again, we got to keep it in perspective. In this day and age, it's hard to get good quality links, and Web 2.0 properties are an example of how you can get good quality links. The problem is if you just throw up content and call it a Web 2.0 property, or call it parasite hosting, and shoot a ton of external links to it, what are you really doing, right? If you throw up a web property, right, and you shoot a bunch of low PR links to it, it's going to get some value. Because, as I said, every index page on the internet can pass value. So it's going to get some value, right? But if you can do that, but why not also go onto the sites and look at where you can extract value and bring it back to pages that you can control, right? Think how hard it is to build a PR4 or a PR5 site on your own, or get a legitimate PR4 or PR5 link. That's going to be that you can create a page that's relevant. Because once again, if we go back to I actually didn't create this, by the way, Matt Cutts did. I don't know if you saw the picture. You can just control the heck out of it. There's just so many links that you can drop, right? There's content that you can put, like right here. And so you're able to get, high PR links that you can make pretty relevant to your site if you want to. I'm going to hop back over once more, just to make sure I didn't lose all you. Okay. That was a fail. Is this only doable on parasites with do-follow interlinking? I mean, I just showed you at the beginning of this webinar that Matt Cutts legitimately said no follow isn't no follow. No follow is like half follow. You don't get as much link juice or PR passed through there, but you do get value still from no follow. And so he said that on his blog. So no follow is it seems to be like it's still working. Or if you think about that. You should be able to get value from it. But what Marshall Sontag is saying is very true. The beautiful thing is that these sites have do-follow interlinking, because that's a good thing for a site. You want that PR to be able to distribute amongst a site, and if you no-follow links internally, you don't increase the link juice that gets sent to the other pages. That's another thing Matt Cutts says. So there's no reason for Behance.net or Behance.net, whatever they say. There's no reason for them to no follow stuff, because it's not passing extra value to the links on the page that are do follow. It's not like you have 10 link juice points, and if you no follow 5 links, the other 5 get double link juice. Matt Cutts literally says they don't. They don't get any more value. So there's no point. You're just leaving all that PR on that one page. So might as well let it pass through your site. So yeah. So the vast majority of this stuff is going to be do follow. Interlinking. Another little trick that you can do on here, right? I wasn't able to find a case where I could find a tag, an actual example, but it should work. So if we go to collections, right? There's some designers here different languages and stuff like that, or like to be so Francisco Andrini. I bet he tags his stuff with interesting stuff. So let's look at this thing right here, right? Let's see what he tags with. Brockhouse. See all 8 tags. Okay. Texicon sounds pretty unusual tags on it, I think. On the designer. And so does Brockhouse, right? So yeah, so see Brockhouse, it's only been tagged twice, right? It's been tagged by this guy that's has had 11,000 views, 718 likes, right? Seems like a guy that probably has a lot of PR and link juice around his name and around his project, and no one else is tagging their stuff with the same term, right? Because if you think about it, I definitely recommend, and it's definitely very valuable to get a tag from a PR 5 category. But you can also extract more value from popular people that are tagging stuff with obscure tags, because then their page is passing link juice to that page, and there's not very many other people extracting it back out. It would just be you and another guy here extracting that value back to your profile page. What are the downsides of doing this, right? It is some manual work. But when you're talking about good money, and I think Earl had a webinar a couple weeks ago, right, about that there is value in doing manual stuff, and there really is, because you can really maximize the value you can get out of links. And once again, you probably don't even have to do this manually. I think there's a lot of money for people to develop services that naturally kind of include this kind of stuff. So instead of just vanilla, Web 2.0 properties, which are still useful links. I'm not trying to say that they're not useful links. They're still useful links. But, upselling or creating new packages that really try to extract the value out of sites, that's going to be very valuable, and I think there's a market for that. So that's something people would really want. One thing I wanted to show was an example of like a property that's probably going to be a good parasite hoster. And it's Weebly. I was talking to this guy named Jack. I don't know if he wants his last name public, but he was doing some testing with Weebly and stuff like that. And I don't know how easy it's going to be able to find a Weebly page just searching Weebly. If someone wants to drop me a Weebly page in chat, that would be really awesome. I mean, I don't think it's... The point of this is to extract juice and rank your parasite page and monetize it somehow, right? SEO, you don't even... This is, once again, this is applicable to a ton of sites out there, right? And you don't even have to parasite host this, right? There's link value, right, to rank your own money site. So if we look at... I've noticed also I've said right 1,000 times on this webinar, which is pretty funny. If we go back to my profile... This is my, it's really isn't my profile. It's over here, profile. Go back to my profile, right? I'm able to drop a link here. I just chose to link it to the gallery. I could have linked it to any site. I could have dropped a link there to any site. They allow you to put web references. That could go to any site as well, right? So you don't have to monetize these pages at all. You can send them to your money site that you're monetizing. So you can, oh, how did I get followers? That's odd. It's probably one of you guys out there. Yeah, you don't have to try to monetize this. This can purely be just to pass link juice to your money site. You're building a backlink. You're just building a really, really good backlink. In this case, you're building 1, 2. I think you can put a ton of references, 3, 4, 5 potential backlinks, right? And they're going to be decent PR backlinks if you go around and you do this right. And someone linked me a Weebly thing. I think it was D-Chuck and someone else. Much appreciation. So you can build like a decent site here, as you can see with Weebly, but Weebly doesn't have any internal links, right? It's all going through subdomains. So it's not like, there's a link from Weebly homepage. It's not like you can tag this and interact it with, other sites at all. So like the problem here is that, it can still be like a great way to like build a property, but it doesn't matter if Weebly.com is a PR9 if you're not able to extract that link juice to your page. And so this is an example of, you can still definitely get value out of a Weebly. I'm not saying you can't, but I think like Squidoo allows tagging in like categories. It probably allows you to like other things and comment on other things. That's going to be more valuable because you're going to be able to extract more link juice back to your page. So I think that's, pretty much it. Let me look at, drop some notes down here. Show some cool things you can do with collections, show the fun parasite, quick overview Behance, show all of the different things you can do to extract links. So yeah, I pretty much showed what you can do on Behance or Behance or whatever it's called. And there's thousands of other sites out here. Every day people are saying like, how can I make my site more interactive? How can I add social to it? How can I better SEO my site? Because tagging is good for the site too. Categories is good for the site too, because it helps PR and link juice distribute across the site, which makes it easier for them to rank all over the place. So that's all very useful stuff for the site and for you. So there's probably thousands of sites out here where you can find very similar stuff that you can do manipulate. Let's go to page real quick, and we're going to wrap up this part. And we can do some questions, and we can do and talk about some things. But if you have Ahrefs or any other stuff out there that's similar to this, like let's go to Behance.net. The reason why I love Ahrefs is it has the SERPs analysis thing right here. So we go to Behance.net. We go to organic keywords. I could have just went to analysis. This is kind of jumping through a few hoops. I'm going to open my door again so I don't lag as much. I don't think there's any kids out there. And this is all just a theory. I could be just completely dumb, and opening and closing my door can make no difference. One sec, fellas. It'll load, I promise. I got ADD, so I'm just gonna look at what you guys are doing over here in the meantime. So what are, yeah, Behance is another great Web 2.0 property. Cover blasting our 2.0s with automated services. I mean, yeah, I mean, you can definitely blast your Web 2.0s with automated services. If you're asking for advice on like how to do that, I mean, load it up, man. Fire away. The great thing about a Web 2.0 property is you're not going to sandbox it, and it can take a lot of backlinks. Anything to know about velocity? Yeah. I mean, I would really just straight go at it. Because it's like a PR7 like Behance, you're not going to run into issues with that. Like they have tons of backlinks, right? It's not really going to be a blip on the radar in terms of Google if one of their pages starts getting a lot of traffic, or sorry, a lot of backlinks. Nick, I have some serious Inception stuff going on right now. Inception stuff. Yes, I know. I'm going pretty awesome right now. Okay, so what I wanted to show you guys with Ahrefs, right, is so you can take your you can take these Web 2.0 properties, right, and if you know that they're kind of social, you can do stuff like follow, you can do stuff like tag. Try running it through Ahrefs, run it through the organic keywords, and like look at stuff like this. So like we start seeing pages that are ranking, which is a good indicator that they have high PR. So graphic design, field 44, is ranking for a very high volume term. So we can assume that tagging our stuff as graphic design is going to get us a link from a page with a lot of high PR. Typography, packaging is another example. And then look what we start seeing here. Design by face, right? So like, this guy, this is of course for face, right? We don't know how big this guy is, but like once again, like right here, this guy has 27K appreciation, 5.8K followers and following. So once again, you can kind of go through this and find galleries to comment on, find profiles to follow, find tags to use. So it's going to allow you to kind of really process this like, really quick. Like, I mean, you could probably just take straight, this top 100 and go through and comment, like, and tag, and you're going to shoot a lot of PR back to your page. I'll give you guys another bone just because I wanted to do something with this, but I don't know if I have the time. Busy at Drip Feed Blast. We're developing some new stuff. And then also doing a lot of client work, which is a lot of fun, and which is actually why I started looking at Web 2.0 properties and tagging all of that, because you can get great links there, and that's going to help clients out. But here's like another bone, like so Quora.com, right? So if you go to Behance, Quora, I just forgot how to spell it, and I just spelled it. That was crazy. I think I just had a mild stroke. So if we go to Quora, okay, did I spell that wrong? Yeah, I spelled that wrong. We're going to go to SERPs analysis to speed this up. Spelling is hard. Did I spell it wrong again? Wow. This is just not impressive at all. So if we go to Quora, right? Quora is like a similar thing, right? So you can comment on stuff. You can upvote stuff. You can probably follow people, right? You can probably do a lot of things. And from my understanding, Quora is scrapable because if you look at this, like, I mean, it's ranking #1 for porn for women, which is probably, pretty interesting. I didn't think about porn for women. But, you can see there's a lot of things ranking, and it, probably a lot of these things are already SEOs doing fun stuff with it. But anyways, like the point is that, Quora is another example. It's like a Q&A with a lot of social in it, right? So, I mean, you could create hundreds of accounts and get them all to interact with each other. And, you could probably like funnel a lot of link juice to like a question like, what is, I'm just going to use payday loans so I don't like out anyone's niches or something like that. But like, well, I guess people are in payday loans. But like, what is the best payday loan provider, right? Like you could ask that question on Quora, and then extract link juice to that question and probably get it to rank very well. And then, I mean, ideally, like if you were trying to monetize it, you'd be linking, you know, to your money site, or like, you know, or like to an affiliate landing page or something like that. And if you were trying to extract, you know, link value and traffic, because you would get a lot of traffic for ranking high with Quora, I would assume, you could, you know, funnel that all to your money site. So, you know, like that's another example. And once again, like, I mean, those are two just off the top of my head. And I'm sure there's, once again, thousands and thousands of sites, right? And once again, the fun thing about being SEO or being in SEO is it's not like, it's a science, but it's not like math, right? It's not like 2 + 2 = 4, right? It's not there. Not everything out there is just straight like given. You do A, B, and C, and you succeed. It's just a very open thing, and there's tons of creativity, that you can do, right? And so just look around on sites like this and say, you know, hey, I'm gonna get a little creative. Let me figure out how I can maximize the value I can get out of this site, right? And then once again, we're starting to look at situations where we start getting, you know, PR2, PR3, PR4 links to our sites, or we're ranking high for competitive terms. And either way, that's going to pay out with some good money. So let me flip back here. I think that pretty much, you know, sums up parasites and all that stuff. I love that. Love that people are interacting in this chat and stuff like that, and pass around and talking to each other. Oh, you're talking about an exception, like when I flip back to my page, webinar within a webinar. Now I get ED check. Okay, makes sense now. Okay, yeah. So we talked about, you know, parasites and Web 2.0 properties and how to maximize it. And so, you know, these are ways that you can get high-value backlinks. And once again, this will apply for social bookmarks. I mean, think about social bookmarks, right? You're adding tags and you're adding categories, right? Look at the ways to add the best tags and the best categories. See if, you know, run it through Ahrefs. See if there's very valuable pages on that site that you can extract link juice back to your like social bookmarks and stuff like that. And honestly, you know, there's some really smart people, I'm sure, in this chat. And I'm sure you guys can think of ways to automate a lot of this, right? You know, dropping comments, that's been automated for years. Likes, follows, that's been automated for a long time as well. Creating accounts, that's been automated for a long time as well, right? So you put a little grease work, you know, you're either a developer, you find a developer, you hire somebody, you work together, whatever. You can probably, you know, start to automate a lot of this stuff, and you go find that site out there, that you go find your Beyonce. That's what I'm gonna start calling it, because someone said Beyonce, and that's great. You guys find your Beyonce, and you figure out how to extract the most link juice out of it. And that could be building tons of accounts, following each other, you know, doing like that trick with the collections, figuring out, you know, how you could be the #1 collection and get what is probably like a PR6 link. I invented the Beyonce name. Yeah, you get credit for that. So so yeah, that pretty much sums up the parasite stuff. We'll do a little Q&A here in a little bit, but I also talked about just doing some like quick talking about like, you know, current events in SEO, because it seems like every week something's new coming out. And yesterday or today, some stuff came out about this thing called like the knowledge graph, right? How do you learn to bot? Do you learn Java? I don't know, bro. You know, and so guys, I'm sure you heard of like this knowledge graph thing. But like if you go to like Justin Bieber, it's not showing up anymore. That is weird. Honey Badger should show it. Honey Badger doesn't show it either. Okay. That is very odd, because as of 30 minutes ago, there was knowledge graphs up here. Basically what this whole knowledge graph thing was, like, Google's was taking the initiative to like try to provide content and results for like purely informative searches. So, you know, I think like Tiger Lily is probably, yeah, there we go. Okay, that's not it. Okay, what is the name of like a sunflower? Okay, Why did I have to try to go cute with Tiger Lily? Okay, it's not there anymore. That's really weird. But knowledge graph was like over here in the corner, and basically they're like, showing content over here in this area right here for stuff like, Sunflower, Justin Bieber, or like historical figures like, Bill Clinton. It's not going to show up though, because that's weird. It's really weird. Why isn't it showing up? Okay, Firefox. I hope I don't have anything on Firefox, if you know what I'm saying. All right, looks kosher. Google.com. Okay, so they must have just pulled knowledge graph or something weird like that, because it was on turn to Justin Bieber like 30 minutes ago when I was looking at it. But maybe they're just testing it. But I guess my point is I wouldn't be worried about knowledge graph. It seems like they're going after just very purely informative terms that are kind of like, definitions or like who is or like kind of dictionary things, right? So like if you look up in the dictionary, like what is a honey badger, right? You're trying to figure out what a honey badger is. And so they have information over there on the right in knowledge graph area, to kind of help the searcher. But like I wouldn't worry about them starting to try to populate results like, what is the most affordable laptop, right? Because Google can't answer that kind of question, and Google's never going to be never going to be able to answer that kind of question. I don't think they want to answer those kind of questions with this knowledge graph stuff. I think they're really just trying to improve the search experience when people are looking for just straight informative dictionary definition-like things. That's the only kind of current news that I have with SEO. But I just figured, not something for people to start panicking about. You see it in Firefox? Yeah, knowledge graph will expand beyond that in time, but within reason. I mean, what you got to think about, what results can Google legitimately know the answer to, right? Like know the answer to. So like if someone searches weight loss using hypnosis, right? Why would Google want to put stuff up there? Google's not going to put stuff up there. The very reason why Google aggregates results is because that's the best way for people to search. Is the vast majority of searches aren't just a straight yes or no answer, right? It's very subjective. So that's why Google has search to begin with. That's why Google doesn't try to just display only the first result and say, we're pretty sure this is the right answer, right? That's why they display hundreds and hundreds of results. So I really don't think that it's going to get to the point where like SEOs are going to go out of business or anything like that. I don't know what that means. Establishing relationships between informations. They categorize searches into do, know, how, then surely they'll only ever use this for the no ones. Yeah, they're switching it from strings to things. But like, what are things, right? It's like very much a dictionary sense. So like a lion is a thing. They want to display information about a lion. Because if I type in lion into Google, I'm probably trying to figure out about a lion, right? If I type in Justin Bieber, I'm trying to find about Justin Bieber. Those are things where there's like a very obvious answer. If he's searching for Justin Bieber, it's pretty obvious that he wants information on Justin Bieber. I mean, so it's like very easy. Once again, like things, like a dictionary. Like you look through the dictionary, right? Go from term A to Z. That's stuff that you're probably going to see if someone searches just straight that term or what is or who is. That's when they're going to produce the knowledge graph stuff. And then once again, the knowledge graph stuff, it's over here in the corner, right? It's just sitting here right in the corner, and the links are still here. The links are still here. You're still ranking. So, it's something to keep an eye on, but I don't think it's something to be worried about. I mean, it took them quite a long time to come out with this whole knowledge graph thing, just with things, right? I really don't see, 2 years from now, all of a sudden, we're not making money off of SEO anymore. I just don't see it. Especially not maybe from something else, but not from the knowledge graph for sure. All right, so they can never use this for buy Viagra. Exactly. Yeah. Pick me, pick me. All right, so Wait, D-Chuck, are you trying to send me something? Oh, okay, you're trying to send me screenshots of the knowledge graph, huh? Alright, so this is not me. This is D-Chuck, who runs SERPIQ, by the way, which I used earlier today. Great for keyword research, competition analysis, all that stuff. So check it out. Yep, Justin Bieber. There you go. Okay, so that's what knowledge graph looks right over there, guys. That's what it looks like. So that's what I was talking about with knowledge graph, and I wouldn't worry about it too much. So in this webinar, we covered a lot about parasites, talked a little bit about knowledge graph, not too much. But if you guys have any questions or answers that you want to talk about, any questions or answers, if you have any questions that you want me to answer, start dropping them. So they can be, just general SEO questions, but I'm definitely going to take a preference to people that have questions about, the Web 2.0 and the parasite stuff, because that was like the bulk of the webinar. So if you guys want to ask some questions and stuff like that, then we can all kind of, talk about it and see what we think. The Beaver example, finally, yeah, exactly. So I can go back and I'll look through some questions till some people start posting questions. So my boy Igloo, yeah, so Igloo posted about Identica.ca in 2010. See, that's awesome. Yeah, so Igloo is way ahead of the curve as usual on this kind of stuff. But see, that's another example of just tons of stuff out there that's going to pass BRGs for you. Why is it called a parasite site? Because I think it's not a symbiotic relationship. They take it from, I guess, science, or biology better. It's not a symbiotic relationship. It's not like you're really helping them per se. I mean, I guess maybe you are if you're building backlinks, but the reason why they call it parasite hosting is because you're kind of leeching on them. You're like the leech. You're not helping them out. You're kind of taking stuff away. You're draining them, like if you have a parasite on you or in you. More like it. Do I like big women? I like women that will get with me. So, if they're big, I'm cool with it. Depends. Who else is there? I have a question about Tumblr's custom domain thing. Yeah, sure. I'd love to hear. Oh, it's more related to server-side stuff. That's not my cup of tea, dude. Did I record this? Yes, I recorded this. Oh, I didn't record this, but Justin TV is great because I can just hit a link, it downloads, and I upload it to YouTube so I can have it up by tonight. So if you want, I scroll to the very top, I dropped the link. Oh, I guess it doesn't save the whole chat. If you go to Wikifire and you go to live tips and tricks, I will be posting the recording in here, but I also will be emailing out about future webinars to this link right here, live chat newsletter. So just look for that on this link I'm about to post over, and then you can then you'll sign up and you'll be guaranteed that you'll get the recording. Back onto automated blast for 2.0. So I realize the sites are too massive to get sandbox for my link building, but don't you think things like velocity and anchor text and normal factors apply to building the authority of the page? Yes, I mean, I think shooting relevant anchor text is going to be beneficial. Velocity, I mean, once again, I can't crack open and see exactly how Google weighs things and stuff like that, but I'm sure velocity will work well. Like if you shoot a ton of backlinks at it, it's probably going to mimic what a natural site looks like when it gets really popular really fast. So once again, just look at trying to mimic natural stuff. So yeah, I mean, velocity is definitely important. I guess my whole thing is a lot of people think about dripping out links so that they don't build too many at once. But in this case, I wouldn't worry about building too many at once. So you can really surge and build a lot of backlinks in a short period of time without worrying too much. With the anchor text, yeah, I would use relevant anchor text. If you're kind of asking that, can a page get affected by Penguin? I mean, we don't really know enough about Penguin. It's only Penguin 1.0. But I wouldn't think that an individual page would get knocked by Penguin. But that's just an assumption. It could very well be that individual pages can get taken out by Penguin. So what I would suggest with the anchor text, just mimic natural anchor text. And if you search natural anchor text diversity, I did a little study. Me and my buddy Dave, we scraped a ton of we scraped a ton of content from Ahrefs, specifically anchor text and stuff like that, and we came up with a pretty good estimation about what anchor text percentages you should look for. And so it's around like 30% exact match, like 10 to 15% partial match, around 20% generics, and about 30% plus straight URL matches. So when I'm building anchor text, or when I'm suggesting to other people to build anchor text, I recommend, to build it naturally. What looks the most natural, because the whole thing with SEO, especially when you're doing stuff that Google doesn't technically approve of, like link building, if you mimic what natural sites look like when they link build, then you're like in the middle of the herd, right? And your chances of getting penalized are very, very low because you look almost identical to a normal site. And if you look almost identical to a normal site, then Google either has to have like laser sniper accuracy and be able to take you out, or they're going to hit a lot of good sites taking you down, which is just not valuable or profitable for them. What's my username on Wikidfire? It's Falian, F-A-L-I-A-N. So I'll type that really quick. How many hours do you work in a day? I want to know how many hours a day you guys work. I don't know. Depends on what I'm doing that day. Some days I work none. Some days I work a lot. I think I'd average about like technically 8 hours, but if we're all honest with ourselves, like actual like productivity, probably 4 or 5 hours of really solid productivity a day. Some days more, some days less. I don't know why you're asking me that though. Does a CNAME screw with 301s? Do not know that. I actually just started to mess around with 301s for a client recently to try to get out of a Penguin update or a Penguin penalty. So I'm new to the 301 game, bro. So I would suggest going to traffic and content, posting it there in Wikidfire, or design and development, and ask a developer. Penguin, one of my sites, what I recommend. What do you reckon if I 301 the www domain to the non-www domain? I don't think that would do anything, geezer. If you're going to 301, I would 301 it to a completely different site. And once again, there's still a lot of unknowns with Penguin. We don't know if a penalty will pass through 301. I'd think if you wanted to be on the conservative side, you'd probably like try to 301 out of the penalty to the new site, and then really focus on building a lot of links and a lot of proper links to that new site. And if you can time it right, like I'd guess today is the 17th, and Penguin came out like late last month, I'd say you still probably have 3 weeks to a month now before the next Penguin comes out. And so like if you can 301, if you want to be on the safe side and build up a bunch of links and then be able to like take off your 301, then maybe if 301 penalty passes through, you won't be hit. But that's like really, really, really speculative. I mean, if you're going to 301, I would just 301 it and hope that the penalty isn't going to pass that way. Wikipedia works just fine with all the same anchor text. Well, I mean, we can look at like AH.com. We can see how Wikipedia's anchor text looks. So we're looking at the entire domain here. And then afterwards, we can look at the specific URL. Actually, it's probably better just look at the specific URL at first. But we'll drop back to that. I'll just, oh, okay. Never mind, it's starting to come up. All right, so this isn't, yeah, this is right, okay. So yeah, Wikipedia has a ton of exact match. But then again, it's also Wikipedia. So I wouldn't say that their stuff maybe exactly applies to our stuff. And I'd also probably say, right, that the links that they're getting with exact match are probably from some of the best sites on the net. Once again, we don't know exactly how Penguin works. I think we're pretty sure it's exact match anchor text and looking unnatural. Like here's like another thing to like look at. Like I mean, Wikipedia to the straight URL, you know, has 35,000 unique anchors, right? You know, that's pretty natural. If they were just SEOing, they'd probably have less than 1,000, less than a couple hundred. So I mean, they're not hitting that footprint. They're also getting a ton of quality backlinks. Majestic SEO actually came up with this really cool thing recently. It's called the like trust something flow, and like it graphs like your links and if they're coming from good sites. And so like Wikipedia would be an example of, you know, getting a very natural link graph. Why not just enter money site as a custom URL? I don't know what that's about. I could say it's almost natural for every site inside a site to be anchored the same. Oh, well, yeah. Well, yeah. Josh, you were talking about internal linking. I don't think that Penguin probably applies that much to internal linking. That's not mutually asking your hours. In basic HTX, can you give the URL of the Matt Cutts page where he talks about no follow? Yeah, I can. And I actually reread it, and he actually didn't. I don't think I read it the first time. Oops, what did I just do there? Field golf. Yeah, I'm trying to go golfing this weekend, guys. So that's weird. Okay, so yeah, this is pretty informative. Actually, like one of the downsides of what Google did with this like freshness update is I couldn't find this awesome link that kind of talks about fundamentally how PR is passed around, which was really, really cool. Okay, did I just link that then? Shoot. Okay, I didn't shoot you the right link. I'm all over the place. One sec, I'm just going to delete out of this stuff. Go over here, Matt Cutts, page sculpting. I know you guys can tell the difference when I'm on my desktop and plugged in, so I apologize. That's the link. That's the proper link. And I wish I could have found like the stuff that talks about like the classic PageRank papers that talk about exactly how like PageRank flows and everything like that. But it was actually funny because I was in an argument with some people on some forums, and they were talking about how like a page could pass like more link juice than it could technically pass like multiple pages. And like Matt Cutts talks about that exactly there, like in infinite loop models. And like you can't do that because there's like natural decay factors. So like there's a certain amount of like PageRank that like can't be passed and stuff like that. So yeah, he talks about the no follow stuff here, and I misread this. And basically, like if you had a page with 10 PageRank points and 10 outgoing links, and 5 of those were no followed, then the no follows would still just get 1 point of PageRank each. The ones without no follow would still get 1 point of PageRank each. So like they wouldn't get more PageRank. Yeah, but I was actually wrong on the no follow thing because I misread it. I thought that said that 5 links with no follow would flow with 1 point each. But I still think that no follow links are still worthwhile. Like that guy I told you about, that Jack I was talking to, he's ranked a site before with 100% no follow links. I know other people that have done it as well. But yeah, this is a very interesting read. Whether you like or hate Matt Cutts, definitely want to know what he's talking about because you can get a lot of insight in there. Yeah, I think we're talking about internal links with the comment in Wikipedia. You were right. Yeah, you were right. No, yeah, you're definitely right. Internal links, I think exact match anchor text is, fine, of course. If you think about it, like, if we were to go back to, Behance.com, I'm not going to get to it. I can just tell you guys, like, the tags, right? The tags are exact match anchor text to the tag page. And on Ahrefs, we saw tag pages ranking, right? So, yeah, internal exact match anchors I don't think is a big deal at all. Google Hammer, yeah, I won't click that. No follow equals busted. No, I mean, I'm not changing. I'm changing that what I said about Matt Cutts actually saying that no follow past 1 point of page rank in that example. He actually says that the no follow, the links without no follow, are only going to get 1 point of page rank instead of 2 points. So they're really not passing link juice around their site well at all. They're actually just capturing and keeping link juice on that one specific page. But then again, as I said, I've talked to a lot of people that have ranked sites with no follow and stuff like that. Myself personally, I built a wiki farm with Wikipedia backlinks, and that site was able to rank for some things. And Wikipedia links to know. But yeah, so that pretty much wraps everything up. It was a lot of fun. Once again, this was an awesome webinar. It was cool to actually look at all these different parasite things because I learned a lot, and I hope you guys learned a lot too. And yeah, and it's very applicable, you know, because as I said, I've been doing client work recently, and when you actually need to go out and look at ways that you can get ranks, high quality links for certain pages and stuff like that, you start looking at things like Web 2.0 properties and following, and you look at the ability to get high PR links and stuff like that. And once again, this is not to say that just a vanilla Web 2.0 property or just vanilla profile links or social bookmarks or wikis or any stuff of that nature are bad links or not useful. Definitely not. Definitely not. They're all useful. They're all valid. Once again, an unindexed link can still get another page crawled, and an indexed link passes the link value. So those are all valuable links. I mean, that's the bulk of what we sell at Driftfree Blast. All still valuable links. That's the bulk of what you'll see in Wickedfire. All still valuable links. But we also want to look for opportunities where we can get very high value links. And there's a lot of opportunities out here. By finding these juicy Web 2.0 properties, being able to build hosted pages on them, and extracting that link juice. Add you on Skype. Sure. Well, yeah, I'll actually be able to add all of you guys because I won't have to get rid of any of this. Awesome. So that was a great webinar. If I find a Web 2.0 property, don't tell anyone. Yeah, everybody. Oh, yeah, I definitely recommend, because once again, I'm not monetizing any of those Web 2.0 properties that I was showing you. And I also like to, share stuff. But by all means, yeah, if you guys find a great Web 2.0 property by yourself, I would look at just how you can personally extract as much value. You don't have to be a good Samaritan about it. Awesome. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that it was great. UK. Well, if you think about this, this is actually really, there's shady stuff you can do with this, and then there's legitimate stuff you can do with this. You could post a legitimate Web 2.0 property that's useful and valuable, but now you've realized that that's not enough. There's value in tagging your stuff. There's value in going around and commenting, which is encouraged by the site, and liking and following people, which is encouraged by the site, right? So all of that you could write off as perfectly white hat. But there definitely is some fun, really fun black hat stuff to do. Because I personally love automating things. And of course, if you automate stuff, it's technically supposed to be called black hat. But as I said about, on Beyonce.net, building up 100 accounts and cross following and stuff like that, you can extract a lot of juice. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fun stuff that you can do from this webinar for white hat and black hat purposes. I'm in the forum, but plan on being active. Yeah, dude. So the real cuts, definitely post them. Well, if you're making a lot of, if you're ranking a lot off of what to run a property, probably don't post it, but definitely do some case studies. So once again, a lot of fun, guys. I'm going to. Oh wait. Before I leave. Whew, almost forgot. Follow me on Twitter at nkniper. Yes, that's how my last name is pronounced. Yes, I know it's weird. And this is the wrong thing. And also, if you guys want to hear about future webinars, I'm going to send you guys a link to sign up for the live chat newsletter. You'll get no spam. It's just straight up stuff about these webinars. And okay, close the window. And once again, if you guys are looking for backlinks, make sure to check out Drip Feed Blast, which is the company that I work at. Make sure to check us out. You can email us at email@dripfeedblast.com for custom work. We can hook you up with coupons if you're new and you want some extra, to be able to run some extra work. Please email us. We can hook you up for sure. And make sure to follow me on Twitter. Hit me up about anything. And yeah, so I'm here to help you out. Drip Blast is here to help you out. And thanks for watching my webinar. It was another great one. Had a lot of fun this time around. And I'm tuning out. Thanks again, guys. See you next time.